What's good, family? What's good? Checking in with you guys live. All right, take two, round two. I want to make sure I had better connection, that we didn't have any major hiccups, and that you guys could hear me clearly. All right. So currently, I just finished doing a 7-hour drive last night. Just got in early this morning to drop our load, and what a coincidence! We are waiting now to get unloaded, and then I'll be heading down to South Texas. All right. But I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about a topic that came on my heart and my mind and my spirit this morning. I was driving last night, and one of the things that I love to do while I'm driving is to really continue to educate myself, right? Find different business podcasts, different relationship podcasts, different experts, industry leaders and experts that I could tap into to help me during my drive time, right? To make my drive time quicker, but more importantly, for me to continue to educate and learn because I love to learn. I'm a thinker and I love to hear different perspectives, whether that be on business, relationships, and just really self development and personal development, right? And if you guys are checking in live with me, let me know what city and state you are checking in live from. For all my EXPs, if you're currently going to execute an event or you're currently on site, let me know what event you're executing, and let me know what city you guys are checking in live from, right? But I want to talk to you guys from a relationship standpoint. This could be a business relationship, this could be your personal relationship, right? Oftentimes we find reasons to leave relationships. We find reasons to always take the easy way out, to quit. And I want to encourage you guys today to stop trying to find reasons to leave and instead find solutions to stay. All right. Now, I'm not here to tell you guys if you're in an abusive relationship or if it's just a toxic situation, right? If it's extremely toxic, then you really have to sit back and ask yourself and analyze, okay, how is this relationship? How is this friendship benefiting me? How is this benefiting both parties? Am I mentally stable to able to stay in this friendship or this relationship? Does it really make sense for me to continue in this relationship, knowing the things that I know and knowing myself, right? And really actually learning and understanding yourself. It's one thing to be in a relationship or to be going through something. And it's one thing to really actually understand the nuances and understanding each other's roles and responsibilities and knowing the person that you're going through this toxic situation or this situation with, right? And understanding whether or not they are worth you really working things through and you really worth putting the work in to do the inner work to heal yourself, right? And more specifically in relationships. And I have just learned just by going through our challenges within our relationship that instead of always putting the blame on the other person, right? Instead of always trying to find fault in what the other person may be doing wrong. And yes, you may have a valid reason. Yes, what the other person may be doing may be wrong, right? And you may have reasons and you may have considerations and you may be valid in everything that you may be saying, feeling, and experiencing, right? But you have to ask yourself, what role are you playing in this, right? What role could you be playing that could be sabotaging the relationship? What things that are you unhealed from? What traumas have you brought into the relationship, excuse me, that could be causing a trickle down effect within the relationship? All right. As I have learned, right, I'm going to speak from personal experience. Being in a relationship takes two people. It takes two parties, but it also takes two people who are willing and able to put the work in and who are willing to do the things that are needed individually, right? So that the relationship can coexist as one unit, right? It's tough to make a relationship work when you're the only one putting in the effort, when you're the only one doing the work, and your spouse or your partner may not be doing their part as well. Now, it's not to say that that person can't change, right? But we also have to understand that it is not our job to get in relationships and change people. It's not our job to get in friendships and try to change our friends. It's not our job to get in business partnerships and try to change our partner, right? Because ultimately, this is the person that you chose to go in relationship with. This is the person that you chose to go in business with. And if you have a dynamic like T and I, This is the person that you chose to do life and business with. So it creates an extra layer and an extra dynamic that you definitely have to be mindful and considerate of. But in saying all of that, understanding that no one's perfect, right? Understanding that when you enter into any type of relationship, each individual is going to come with their different traumas, the different things that they have to work through, right? And oftentimes, we're not going to be healing at the same time. Society and social media likes to say, oh, to heal people, you got to be healed to be in a relationship. And I don't believe that, because at the end of the day, you're never healed. You're always working on yourself. There's always some layer and level of personal development that you're doing, right? That you're working on and that you're healing through, right? Even in a marriage, even in a committed relationship, right? There's still work that always has to be done. So you have to understand the different dynamics, right, that go into relationships. And oftentimes, especially now in the microwave society that we live in, the minute someone doesn't do something right, the minute things get tough, we like to throw in the towel and we like to quit, right? Even in business, the minute you're giddy and you're ready to start the business, right? And you're excited for what's to come. But the minute you're not making consistent sales, the minute you're struggling in that business, instead of looking for ways to really dive deep into that business and find out the nuances and ways in which you can improve that business, oftentimes we'll quit, right? And go jump into the next business venture or the next business venture or the next relationship or the next person, right? And you continue the same pattern. And at some point you have to ask yourself, is it really the business or is it me? Is it really the other person that I keep running from, or the other people that I keep getting into relation with? Or is it me running from myself and not wanting to do the work to confront the issues and the things that I have to work on as an individual, right? And again, this applies even, like I said, in your business life. If you are an entrepreneur, right? Business is not always going to be beautiful. It's going to be times where you're going to go through the challenging times and you're going to question why you started this business. You're going to question, is this business really for me? You're going to question everything that you thought would create a successful business. You're going to question it at some point. And it's going to be up to you to really dig deep and decide, is this business worth saving? And on the relationship side, is this relationship worth saving? Does this other person, does my spouse, or does my partner possess the things that I need from a mental, spiritual, and emotional standpoint to sustain, right? I saw with myself in our relationship, I have a partner that's willing, that's vested, that's willing to do the work, that's willing to do the things to work and improve himself and myself as well, willing to do the work as well. So it was not as easy for me to just walk away from somebody who's committed to working on themselves as well, or themselves as well, excuse me. So you really have to look at all the dynamics. And before we are so quick to just hop out of relationships or hop out of situations, we have to ask ourselves, what part did I play in this? What part of me is unhealed? What parts of myself do I need to work on? And that can be the toughest, toughest thing to do, guys. I'm here to tell you, it could be so tough to do that because it causes you to reflect. It causes you to look at your upbringing. It causes you to look at the things that you were taught. It causes you to ask yourself, were the things you taught correct or incorrect? How did the things that you were taught as a child affect your relationship that you're in now? It causes you to do the inner work that many of us don't want to do. So as I close, as I let you guys get ready, because I know we got football, we got events, we got all types of things going on, right? Before you guys are so quick to just jump out of situations, jump out of relationships, jump out of business ventures, find solutions and find reasons and find opportunities and ways in which you can further yourself and do the self work and do some self development work to work on yourself. Because what I have found is when I started to make change, when I committed to my personal development and I committed to working on myself, then I start to see change with the people around me. Then I start to see change with my relationship, right? So it does, guys. It ultimately starts with us. And it starts with you really tapping into yourself. It starts with you really just asking yourself the tough questions. And it starts with you being honest, brutally honest with yourself, and ask the tough questions and really look at your situations and say, am I running away from this situation because I don't want to face the truth and I don't want to do my work? Or is it genuinely the individual, or is it genuinely the situation that's toxic and that's causing strife or causing issues? I'm not advocating for you to stay in a business or in a relationship that's toxic or that's detrimental to your personal well-being. By all means, you have to seek clarity and you have to really determine if a relationship makes sense and if it works for you. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. All I'm saying is this: we live in a microwave industry society where everything has been so quick to just leave. Society has made it so easy for us to just say, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm a in the business and I'm gonna just go start this. I'm gonna in a relationship and go get with somebody else. But just make sure that you're doing the work, that you're taking the time to really analyze yourself before you just jump from relationship to business, because it may not be the other person. It may be you, right? And it may be you not willing to look at yourself in the mirror and do the inner work. All right. So I want to encourage you guys, continue to work on yourself. It's not easy. Sometimes we got to let the walls down. Sometimes we got to have the tough conversations with those around us. But when you do that and when you take accountability for yourself, that's when you can start the inner work and start becoming the best version of yourself. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe if you're executing events, and I'll holler at you guys later. Bye.